The blame game has finally exploded, and according to swirling reports, Meghan Markle has reached a point where frustration is turning into fury. As her public image faces one setback after another, whispers are growing louder that she no longer sees outside critics as the biggest problem. Instead, all eyes are suddenly turning toward the man standing right beside her, Prince Harry, the prince who was once considered one of the most beloved members of the royal family, the prince whose popularity once opened doors across continents. And now, if rumors are to be believed, the very person Meghan allegedly blames for the dramatic collapse of everything they were trying to build.
Now, Meghan Markle, she is reportedly facing a $5 million crisis for her brand as ever. Meghan Markle is looking at a deadline to move all her jams, teas, and flour sprinkles jars, oh no, before they are no longer sellable.
What makes this situation so explosive is that it comes at a time when nearly everything surrounding the Sussex brand appears to be under intense scrutiny. Every project, every appearance, every public statement seems to trigger another debate. Critics are watching, supporters are defending, commentators are analyzing every move, and somewhere in the middle of all that noise sits a growing question. How did a couple who once commanded global headlines and unlimited opportunities find themselves fighting to maintain the same level of influence they once enjoyed effortlessly? The answer may be far more complicated than anyone expected. For years, Meghan and Harry presented themselves as a united front. They left royal life together. They launched media projects together. They spoke about their future together. Yet, behind every carefully crafted public appearance, speculation continued to build. Because while the cameras captured smiles, critics pointed toward missed opportunities, declining popularity numbers, and business ventures that never quite reached the heights many predicted. Now insiders and commentators are painting a picture of rising frustration behind palace walls thousands of miles away from any actual palace. Reports suggest Meghan is becoming increasingly unhappy with the direction their brand has taken. And according to those reports, she allegedly believes Harry bears significant responsibility. That accusation alone is enough to send shockwaves through royal watchers. Because let's not forget who Harry was before all of this. Before documentaries, before memoirs, before public family feuds. Harry was one of the monarchy's biggest stars. He was the prince people laughed with, the soldier people respected, the royal who often seemed more relatable than anyone expected. Crowds followed him everywhere. Public affection appeared almost automatic. His popularity wasn't something that needed to be manufactured. It already existed. And that's exactly why some observers find today's situation so fascinating. How does someone go from being one of the most admired royals in the world to becoming part of a brand struggling to maintain the same momentum it once promised?
For Prince Harry, does it get any more embarrassing than this? Seriously. Than being on an open-top bus in Hollywood.
Why is it
banged on about privacy for years.
Many analysts point toward the turning point that changed everything. Not necessarily the decision to leave royal life itself, but what happened afterward. The interviews, the revelations, the accusations, the documentaries, the endless headlines. Then came Harry's memoir, a book that reignited old tensions and introduced fresh controversies at exactly the moment critics were already questioning the couple's direction. Every revelation generated another news cycle. Every news cycle generated another argument. Every argument pushed the Sussexes further into the center of an increasingly divided public debate. At first, the attention seemed valuable. Then something unexpected happened. Attention started transforming into fatigue. People who once watched every move with curiosity began watching with skepticism. Projects that were expected to dominate cultural conversations failed to create lasting excitement. Some generated headlines for a few days and then disappeared. Others attracted criticism instead of praise. And as momentum slowed, questions grew louder.
No trust left between the royal family and the California-based couple, especially as Prince Harry is about to release his memoir, Spare. We're told everyone remains wary about Harry until his book publishes, concerned about what claims may come out next.
Some royal commentators argue that Meghan became the primary target because many members of the public viewed her as the driving force behind major decisions. Whether fair or unfair, that perception became deeply embedded within public discussions. Critics increasingly framed her as someone more interested in Hollywood influence than royal responsibility. The narrative gained traction, the criticism intensified, and every new controversy controversy seemed to reinforce existing opinions.
The Prince Harry and Meghan Markle has followed a strikingly steady course. Years after exiting royal life, the Sussexes continue to dominate most disliked celebrities lists. 2025 Rankers list places Meghan Markle firmly at number 1 ahead of figures like Sean Diddy Combs, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Ellen DeGeneres. Prince Harry remains close behind, keeping both Sussexes at the top or in the top 5.
By the time public favorability surveys began showing significant declines, concerns reportedly shifted from reputation to survival. Because popularity isn't just about applause. In today's celebrity world, popularity translates into influence. Influence attracts partnerships. Partnerships generate opportunities. Opportunities create wealth. When one piece weakens, the entire structure starts wobbling. And according to critics, that's exactly what began happening. Projects launched with enormous expectations suddenly faced difficult realities. Grand promises met unpredictable public reactions. Ambitious plans encountered obstacles nobody anticipated. Then came the business challenges.
Netflix has officially cut ties with Meghan Markle's polarizing lifestyle brand As Ever, in a fresh blow to the Duchess's ambitions for the company. Kinsey, the streaming service has issued a statement as artificially soothing as Markle's voice on her 2-season show with Love Meghan. But there's no other way to spin it, is there? She and Harry have been a massive disappointment for Netflix.
The Netflix deal became one of the most discussed examples. Initially celebrated as proof that the couple could successfully transition from royalty to global media powerhouses, the partnership eventually became a source of endless speculation. Some productions generated attention, but many observers questioned whether the long-term impact matched the enormous expectations attached to the deal. Meanwhile, other ventures struggled to establish the cultural dominance supporters envisioned. Instead of becoming untouchable power players, Harry and Meghan increasingly found themselves defending their relevance. And that may be where the real tension begins. Because according to reports, Meghan allegedly does not view herself as the primary reason for their declining fortunes. Instead, she reportedly believes Harry has failed to maximize the very thing that made their brand unique in the first place: his royal status, his connections, his global recognition, his ability to command attention simply by entering a room.
Meghan finally told Harry he needs to step up financially. She's the one driving the business deals, managing the brand, and thinking about the future, and she's tired of feeling like the only one focused on money.
Sources and commentators claim Meghan believes Harry has become far too passive, far too comfortable, far too willing to step back when she believes he should be stepping forward. In her reported view, opportunities are being missed because Harry no longer seems interested in aggressively promoting their image, strengthening their influence, or expanding their reach. And that frustration, if true, could explain why rumors of private disagreements continue to surface. Because what happens when two people want completely different futures? What happens when one person wants visibility while the other wants peace? What happens when one sees every appearance as a strategic opportunity and the other simply wants to show up, do the work, and go home? Those differences may appear small at first, but over time, they can become impossible to ignore. Reports suggest those contrasting priorities are now creating deeper tensions. Meghan reportedly wants expansion, influence, and constant momentum. Harry appears increasingly drawn toward privacy, charity work, and a quieter existence away from relentless publicity. And if those reports are accurate, the conflict may no longer be about popularity alone. It may be about identity. Because while Meghan allegedly sees every headline as an opportunity that must be seized, Harry increasingly appears like a man exhausted by the very spotlight he once lived inside. Which raises an even bigger question. If the foundation of the Sussex brand was built on combining Meghan's ambition with Harry's royal appeal, what happens when one half of that formula stops believing the spotlight is worth chasing? What makes the situation even more explosive is that the reported disagreements do not stop at publicity strategies. According to ongoing speculation, deeper issues may be brewing beneath the surface. Critics and commentators have increasingly pointed toward a growing divide between Harry and Meghan regarding how their public image should evolve in the years ahead. While neither side has publicly confirmed these claims, the rumors refuse refuse to disappear. In fact, they seem to grow stronger every time the couple makes another appearance. Some reports suggest arguments have erupted over everything from business decisions to family privacy. One particularly controversial topic centers around their children and how visible they should be online. According to commentators, Harry allegedly prefers maintaining strict privacy, while Meghan is often portrayed by critics as being more open to strategic visibility when it benefits their public profile. Whether those reports are accurate or exaggerated, the mere existence of such speculation reveals how intensely every aspect of their lives is being examined. Then came another wave of shocking commentary. Some observers began openly questioning the state of the marriage itself. Body language analyses flooded social media. Every photograph became evidence. Every glance became a clue. Every public appearance became another opportunity for internet detectives to search for signs of trouble. What once would have been dismissed as gossip suddenly became a recurring narrative discussed by commentators across multiple platforms. Adding fuel to the fire are recurring divorce rumors that continue to surface despite the absence of any confirmed evidence. With anonymous sources, unnamed insiders, and speculative reports have all contributed to an atmosphere where every disagreement is instantly magnified into a potential crisis. The result is a cycle that feeds itself. The more rumors appear, the more people look for proof. The more people look for proof, the more ordinary moments become interpreted as signs of conflict. Meanwhile, Meghan reportedly remains focused on one critical issue: relevance, because whether supporters like it or not, critics agree on one thing. The Sussex brand depends heavily on public attention. Attention generates headlines. Headlines create opportunities. Opportunities keep the brand alive. And according to reports, Meghan allegedly believes Harry is not fully embracing that reality. That belief may explain why one seemingly ordinary basketball game generated so much discussion. The incident itself appeared harmless. Harry attended a major NBA game and enjoyed the event like thousands of other spectators. But what caught commentators' attention was where he was sitting. Not courtside, not front row, not in the highly visible celebrity section where cameras constantly scan for famous faces. Instead, Harry was seated several rows back. To most people, it seemed insignificant. To critics and commentators, it became symbolic. Some reports claimed Meghan was unhappy because the seating arrangement represented something much larger than basketball. In their interpretation, it reflected declining status, declining influence, declining visibility. Commentators immediately compared Harry's position to celebrities seated directly in front of the cameras. Actors, entertainers, influencers, public figures commanding attention simply by being present. Meanwhile, a prince sat farther from the spotlight. For Meghan's critics, the story reinforced a narrative that she allegedly fears becoming irrelevant. For Harry's defenders, the incident demonstrated something completely different. They argued that Harry simply wanted to enjoy the game without turning it into a publicity exercise. And there lies the heart of the conflict. One perspective sees every major event as an opportunity that must be maximized. The other sees life as something that should occasionally be lived without calculation. Those opposing philosophies may be impossible to reconcile. As the pressure continues mounting, the Sussexes find themselves confronting a difficult reality. The popularity they once enjoyed is no longer guaranteed. The influence they once commanded faces constant challenges. The projects designed to secure their future are being judged more critically than ever. Ironically, the couple who once left royal life seeking greater freedom now appear trapped in an endless battle over public perception. Every move attracts scrutiny. Every appearance sparks debate. Every silence creates new questions. And perhaps that is why the blame game has become so intense. Because when expectations collide with reality, someone usually ends up carrying the blame. Right now, according to reports, Meghan appears to believe that person is Harry. But whether Harry is truly responsible, whether Meghan is being unfair, or whether both are struggling under pressures neither anticipated remains the biggest mystery of all. One thing is certain. The story is far from over. The speculation continues. The rumors keep spreading. And as long as questions remain unanswered, the spotlight surrounding Harry and Meghan will only grow hotter. Because behind every headline, behind every appearance, and behind every carefully crafted public statement, people are still asking the same question. Is this merely a rough chapter in the Sussex story? Or is something much bigger quietly unfolding behind the scenes?